we are in the presence of a celebrity right now. This is
We are.
She did the Super Bowl commercial with Bill Murray and G.
That's it right there.
This is it. This is the one that started it all.
You planned that.
No, I didn't, but yeah, that's cool.
Could we be in line for something funny to come out of the mouth?
Just might happen. What a little key.
She's the best.
Everyone deserves to feel their best. Everyone deserves to move their best and not have pain.
I'm a little upset that Ben got like 2 inches taller because he's already tall, dark, and handsome enough.
Culture is something we think about like all the time at Strookies. You know, we're all coming from different cultures.
Our comments have exploded
Through the roof.
So there you go. Well, that last show clip in our intro was about coffee, and people are very passionate about coffee.
Yes, they are.
And what goes with coffee? Dairy. But now we've got this show, frozen dairy and treats, and
This, I've never been more excited for a show.
So excited.
I mean, we've had some amazing guests and some amazing organizations on, but never have we before had custard in front of us.
Yeah, it's we're getting it to perfect temperature, and our
Ready to
guest is going to tell us all about that and enjoyment of frozen dairy treats at appropriate temperatures. Who knows? Maybe you've been eating ice cream and frozen dairy treats and custards wrong all your life, and we're about to wake you up.
That's true. Never know.
Just might be what happens here on the show. So anyway, it's 2:00 on a Monday. That means we're live here on Lancaster Connects, where you can watch us live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. Please subscribe, follow the show. That really helps us out. Gets it seen, gets it shared, because we do shine light on great people in our community, whether they have a great business, like our guest today, or they're great people doing charity, or a little bit of both, or they love Lancaster and they support the county. That's who we have on the show. And so you can watch everything at lancasterconnects.com, past episodes, lancasterconnects.com/episodes. So we started this new thing with our rundown, and I say this new thing. We'll get
new.
We'll get it right next week. I have to get my phone.
I think you had it right the first week.
I did. I was all excited
and then week
about
2
it.
it went downhill, but we got through it.
We'll get it back up.
Yeah,
it's still going to work.
It's
just I have to grab my phone.
Yes.
And so with it, we're moving into gratitude season with Thanksgiving here, and I guess the first thing I would say is charity isn't a once-a-year thing.
Very true. Very much true.
But it gets a lot of focus this time of year, and that's okay. And so the first one we wanted to highlight, we're big fans of what they do. Blessings of Hope, David Lapp and his team. Boy, this guy is just like nonstop, all in on their efforts at Blessings of Hope to solve world hunger. That's his big dream. And it's just a math problem. If you saw our episode, you know what we mean by that. But they are pushing the buttons on the food and mathematic calculator and getting a lot of food out there. And so we've got them here on the screen. Thank you to our wonderful producer, Chris, for putting this graphic up. I like it.
Who needs a piece of paper to read from?
I think that's even Lancaster in the background.
It is. Like he's got a coffee cup.
Podcaster
like you're
extraordinary.
Sitting at your desk.
That's some first-rate production right there.
That is very much first-rate production.
Yeah. Could be fifth, but no, it's first. And so Blessings of Hope, a great charity, great people, helping solve not only with a big goal of world hunger, but they're doing a lot right in our backyard.
Oh, 100%.
And actually all next month, I'll tease it right now. Uh-oh. That look for me, he's like, what's coming out of his mouth?
Never know.
So next month, when you buy a mattress $6.99 or more, we're going to go over once a week to Blessings of Hope. And for every one of those mattresses, we'll pick up 30 pounds of food through their Blessings of Hope boxes. And we're going to bring that back to Hempfield Food Pantry right here in our backyard.
Love it.
And get it to them, right? Because a lot about giving back and charities is the man hour and the labor. Mm-hmm. And people need help to affect their mission. So don't forget that in this month and all year round is you can donate, but time is also needed. A lot of people need hands-on elbow grease to make it happen.
It's very easy to be a volunteer at Blessings of Hope. On their website, you can apply to be a volunteer. It's a great place for kids to volunteer. My family did it a few weeks ago when the kids were off of school, Columbus Day, I think. So Great place to get your kids some volunteering opportunity.
Yep. And Off the Streets Now is another one that we support. That's where a lot of our charitable dollars go to here at Gardeners. It's a natural fit. We have access to incredible sleep products here at Gardner's Mattress and More, where we shoot this show or do this show, Lancaster Connects. But yeah, we're now doing a monthly mattress donation to them. We've really kind of formalized that this year and into next. And we get them their monthly need of mattresses each month. And so they're helping people get out of homelessness and secure them into housing, get them off to a great start so they stay housed and really get that hand up that they need. So they're just great people. And
they're an organization that, I mean, obviously we're donating some sleep products, but really anything that can go in the home is needed for them to furnish these houses. So kitchen appliances, living room furniture, I mean, you name it, items for the bedroom, bathroom, they need everything. So anything that you have to donate, that would be a great organization, blankets.
Yeah.
Sheets,
and they
all
have
that
those
kind of stuff.
lists on their website. So offthestreetsnow.com/Lancaster, I believe is their direct website, but their socials we have up here as well. Help the fight. Breast cancer awareness, breast cancer charity. It's October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Mhm.
They've been very busy this month. We donated some goodies to their big raffle. Linda Charles and her crew, just great people. I mean, there's an exact charity that we love to show, kind of homegrown,
Mhm.
Lancaster baked, Lancaster made charity. Wish it didn't have to exist, but that doesn't mean we don't love Linda and help the fight.
Yep.
And looks like they got something coming up here on October 27th.
That was yesterday.
It was, yeah, man. This month is. Well, I hope yesterday everybody won. Looked like they had some great stuff. The live show.
That was that their gala that we donated some pillows to?
That must have been it.
That was it. Yep.
Yeah, that was
Yep.
it. So yeah, they're just doing great things here locally. And then Real Life Services, Rod Redkay. I think what gets left out of Lancaster County often is the northern tier.
Mm.
We got a lot of focus on the city. We got a lot of focus on, the Manheims, the Hempfields, the Landisvilles. Mount Joy and E-Town kind of got their own thing going to the north and the west, or in the west, I should say.
Yeah.
But up in the north, Adamstown,
Denver,
Reinhold.
your neck of the woods.
Yeah, where the Janakovo family came and planted its flag from Canada 35 years ago. Shennick never gets a shout out.
Well, nobody can say Shennick besides people that came from there.
But you would think, like in that part of the area, like where are these services needed? Housing, food. Come on, these people. That's like suburbia of suburbia. It's that they don't need help. Well, Real Life Services is doing all of that. What happens in Lancaster City, happening up in the northern part of the county, and they do a nice job. So
Rod is going to be on the show in a few weeks, I believe. I don't know the exact date.
Fantastic.
It might be the end of November, beginning of December, but I know he's a scheduled guest.
Yep. And so they're great. And then last, we just had them on. I had to unfortunately miss it. I think that was the day my truck broke down. Lighthouse Vocational Services. So I love this one. I'm very passionate about hands-on skills and careers, and I sit on a board for that. And these folks are doing that, but with people that need, just got dealt a raw card in life, maybe a learning disability, a physical disability, but they want pride. They want to be able to live and support themselves, and Lighthouse is helping them do that. And what a great thing they're doing. Because those folks are some of the most vulnerable in our society. True. And they need that help, and that's perfectly okay. And it's good that Lighthouse is here to do that.
Yeah.
So
fantastic organization. It's a great chat.
There's our rundown. If you would like to be highlighted, like our page, subscribe, because that's where I get all this information Sunday afternoons as I'm watching football. I happened to be in a great mood yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Go Birds.
It was an Eagles win and a Dallas loss, so all was right in the world. But as I'm sitting there watching, that's where I get it. So get in our feed, like our channel, maybe comment a little bit. Not sounds like pay for play. It's really not, but it's how I find you, right? And we can highlight you. So be a fan of the show, and we'll get you on the show.
Well, if we're not aware, we can't share.
That's right.
That was almost
very good.
Profound.
Yeah.
Can we get to the custard?
Yeah, because I think we might. We got to hit it.
I mean, this is killing me. It's been sitting out here like for 20 minutes.
We got to hit it at peak time.
And maybe our guest can tell us when peak time is. We've got Nicole Dannehl from Nikki's Custard. Nicole, how are you?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
Welcome to the show.
We're doing
Thanks
great.
for having me.
I mean, you can tell I'm very excited.
Uh-huh.
The pints of ice cream that we picked up. Now we'll talk about these pints. We'll talk about, all the other goodies that you have there
Sure.
in person in your store. But you said these need to be a little soft, right, to open up?
I think they're going to be perfect right now.
So
Because if you can sort of squeeze the outside of the container.
Oh, yeah, I can squeeze it. Yep.
And your spoon should really just roll off the top, or the scooper, just like a real nice.
So we're gonna
that you're doing
come
it.
in
and Jeff, you have pumpkin peanut butter cup, I believe. Oh, look at that.
That looks so good.
I don't want to slop it on the keyboard.
I feel you need to have some too. You're in your shop. Go.
I eat it every single day. I'm okay. You guys go
right.
first. You go first. But the texture as you try it. So
I'm going to do the
custard,
peanut butter jelly.
What makes it really special. Now I will preface this by saying we serve Midwestern style custard. So there's some beautiful custards on the East Coast that are really soft serve custard, which I love. I love all things frozen and dairy. You name it, I will eat it. But what I dream about and I long for is what you're trying right now. And this is a Midwestern style custard. It's scoopable. It's velvety. It's got a really nice mouth texture. It's really silky.
Oh, yeah.
So when you come into the shop on a day that like maybe I'm churning out these ribbons of custard, I love giving samples to the customers when they're in line because when we make it fresh, it's like primo. When you have it in the pint and you did exactly what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to leave it on the counter 10, 20 minutes. It's very soft and that texture, it's a mouthfeel that just, that's why I dream about custard.
She's
is
not
what
lying.
You are trying right now.
Our watchers are so jealous.
And you have two of our wonderful, so because it was fall and we kicked off right at the beginning of September, we had a pumpkin flavor every single week. So we do one. So what happens is we get up early, we start opening the shop, but we make our custard fresh in the morning, early before noon, every single day. We always do a flavor of the day. This flavor was our werewolf tracks. So a vanilla custard with Oreo and then the pumpkin chips in it. And we make those flavors first. And then once we're done, we always roll out our classic chocolate and vanilla. So this was a chomping carrot cake. We had a carrot cake custard, which is a carrot. Are you okay there, Jeff?
It was so good.
Buddy, oh no. So a carrot cake custard with chunks of carrot cake in it and mini chocolate chips. So trying to do things that are really fun, a little twist on what you may not have regularly. This was our monster smash yesterday. So it was half vanilla, half chocolate. We put white chocolate chips and mini chocolate chips in it. So that was a really nice big seller yesterday. People were taking pints of that home. Oh, man. But what makes custard special is the dairy and the egg. It has egg yolks in it. So it's cream, it's milk, it's dairy, it's eggs. And then we have a very specific machine that we make our custard from. It has these really long, so if I put my hands out, really long barrels in there and it churns really slowly. And so it ribbons out. We call them ribbons as it comes out of the front of the machine. And because of that slow churn and the temperature that we keep it at, that's where you get that texture to it. So not soft serve, it's scoopable, but it's not hard ice cream. Custard has about a 10 to 12% butterfat in it. Sometimes a little bit more. It can go up to like 13%. Where a hard ice cream that, take any of those gorgeous pints like a Ben & Jerry's or a Haagen-Dazs, something like that, they might have a 12 to 18%. So they have a higher fat content. So therefore they freeze it at a little bit colder temperature where ours is a little bit warmer. So we might be at somewhere between 7 to 15 degrees, depending on what freezer we're in. Some of those might be colder. So anyway, you're trying the thing that makes me dream, happy thoughts, custard.
So there's so many questions.
And just to clarify, the coughing wasn't because it was bad or anything at all. I have the pleasure of the pumpkin peanut butter chip. and a big piece of peanut butter chip just got caught in my throat wrong. And I was enjoying all of it, every moment of it.
I believe you.
Until the
Yeah.
mishap. Yeah.
So I'm going to, the way to keep Jeff quiet on Lancaster Connects is give him custard. So here we go.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Thank you for trying that. Those are some of our Halloween favorites right now.
That's awesome. So yeah, one of the things I want to get into maybe in a little bit is like how you come up with these creations, because I think that's one of the things that makes Nikki's Custard so special is like seeing the pictures on Facebook. I mean, every day I'm looking for like, what is her flavor? I can't make it there every day, nor would my wife allow it. But like they look so good online. But first I want to talk about you grew up in Wisconsin. And
I will clarify. So I grew up in the Midwest. Yep. Grew up in the Midwest, but we ended up at the last part. My husband and I got married. Well, I will start a little bit. I grew up in the Quad Cities, which is Illinois and Iowa, and the Mississippi River goes through.
Oh, cool.
So I was in the Moline side. And then I went to the University of Iowa. I'm about as Midwestern as you can get. Graduated from the University of Iowa and met my husband there. And then he grew up in Nebraska, spent time in St. Louis. We married in Iowa, and then we spent a good chunk of time up in Wisconsin. So we're in that Midwestern corridor of just like everything frozen dairy, all the farmland, much like here in Lancaster, why we love it so much. There's so much of the same kind, farmland, corn, gorgeous rolling hills, the whole thing. And when we spent our time in Wisconsin, we got to know intimately custard, and we just loved it. So when I was growing up, I had traditional treats, soft serves, Whitey's ice cream in the Midwest. Oh my gosh, that ice cream is to die for. I dream of that. We'd have these, like, it was called country cream, something like that, or my dad would only get vanilla, and I'd be like, Dad, why are you only getting vanilla? I'm like a little kid, like, you know how many flavors? Yep, there's my mom and dad.
That's cool.
He was just like, vanilla is everything. And as a kid, you're like, this is horrible. Like, you need chocolate and marshmallow and all the stuff in there and Jimmy's. And he would just get a cone of vanilla. He is a very wise man. He is a very wise man. So then we spent all that time in Wisconsin, and between the St. Louis like bubble of custard and the Milwaukee area of bubble of custard, we just it became just part of our family DNA, and our kids grew up on it. So when we moved out to the Lancaster area in the early 90s, we just enjoyed everything out here. But it wasn't until the pandemic where we're walking around downtown. It would be every Sunday, sort of like you're enjoying football games. We're going out for a walk with Hadley, our dog. And we'd go around the college, go around town. And we just, on a Sunday, we'd go like, I'm missing it. I just miss the texture. I just miss the flavor of it. And it was because of the pandemic, how everybody sort of had some opportunities to think about things and maybe reset a little bit. It was February 2022. And I came home and I looked at my husband and I said, I know what I want to do. I want to open a custard shop. And he's looking at me like, what? And I'm like, I'm telling you, this is what we need to do. And so that's where it came from. So that Midwestern, like where we're from, we just thought it would really hit home in a beautiful way out here in Lancaster County in South Central Pennsylvania. So,
well, I've got to say that you hit a home run.
Thank you.
Not with these flavors, but with everything that you do with your business. I think it's fantastic. Did you have to learn how to make custard? Like, did you know much about how it was made or?
No, knew nothing, knew absolutely nothing. I wasn't even a kid in high school who worked at an ice cream shop, so I couldn't compare it to anything.
Right.
So
how'd you learn?
That spring, we went to a place called Scoop School. It happens to be in the Midwest.
I was going to ask if they had Custard University.
It was basically that. And the guy who's a great guy, Steve, who trained us, my husband, my daughter, Avery, Jeff, who you've met her when you've stopped at the shop. And I'm sorry, Ben, Avery came out and we all went out together. We're like, we'll give it a try. We'll take this course. And he set up a custard shop. There's Avery. Yeah, set up a custard classes for us. And that's all I wanted to learn. I didn't want to learn how to make hard ice cream. I don't know how to make hard ice cream. I don't know how to make gelato. That's not my wheelhouse. We wanted to learn how to make custard. And we spent a week with him and went through training, went through business concepts, tried everything that he offered, and went to somebody's custard shop. They were so generous. This man had just purchased a family business. The woman was ready to retire, and he's like, "Come on over. We're not open yet." And we worked on these really cool old custard machines that were over 30 years old. And after that, the instructor said, I have some people who are like, nope, I don't want to do it. It's too much. You can't do it. And the other people are like, yep, we're going forward. And our family decided to go forward. So I always talk about us being woman-owned, family-run. So I own the business. My daughter, Avery, who you've met, she's our store manager. And my husband, Bill, is my CFO and construction professional. He does everything I need him to do, from, fixing the corner of this and the leaky that. And then I have other family members, my daughter, my sister, or my daughter-in-law. Everybody helps us out. So there's cool. Some video on that's our shop. And that was our 1-year anniversary. So that's where we started from. If you can see the video, that's how we gutted and started over and really transformed this
beautiful looking
shop.
Location.
It really is.
The building stands out.
Just to mention the building. So it's in Manheim Township on Oregon Pike, on the right-hand side as you're going up, just maybe a quarter mile up from the Sheets there or up from Route 30. But Nick, you may know, like, that building has been a bunch of different things over the years, and nothing is really kind of stuck there. And so, a few years ago, 2022, we saw this beautiful painting going up in the building, and we're like, what's this? What's coming? And then, like, you see the sign, Nikki's Custard. I'm like, oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. What is it? I don't know. But your parking lot is always full, always full. So it's great to see something that is stuck in that building. And I know you've had to expand. You now have an outside window that you can order from, and you can order online. Maybe you want to talk about the ways that the business has expanded over the years.
Sure. So we were really fortunate. We worked with, so having a small business, we've only been open 1 year. It is not for the faint of heart. When you get into the food industry, small business, we do not have the purchasing power, the growth power of like well-established chains. So we thought we were going to be able to just find a shop on our own, and ended up working with a really great guy, Justin. He's a commercial real estate agent, and he helped us. And we thought originally we were going to be right down in the heart of the city. We thought, okay, walkable. We want to be in a location downtown, but we couldn't find the square footage that we wanted. We love downtown Lancaster. It's just so beautiful, but we'd find something. It was like Papa Bear, Mama Bear, Baby Bear. It was too big, too small, and we couldn't find the size that was just right. So he said, there's this location. It's outside of the city. I know you want to stay in the city, but just maybe we can take a look. He took us out there. We did the whole walk around. Will this work? And thinking like, okay, so people are going to have to drive to us. They're going to have to discover us in a different way, more than just like word of mouth and that downtown community connection. So when we saw the building, and we were in between two very well-established businesses on either side, food businesses, we knew we wanted to do something to make us stand out. And I always wanted to do a mural on the building. I think Lancaster is really cool in the way that there are murals all over the city. And I thought, oh gosh, we need to do something like that. So we hired, so you saw the video where we were gutting. So in the time we were like gutting and taking care of everything on the inside, we hired a local person, Jordan Swartz. He grew up here. He went away to school. He was down in Texas, but his family was still up here. And we connected with him. And I said, I really want to do something that's like an ode to Lancaster County, something that's really special, but I also want it to be modern, retro 70s. So we did this mural. It has sort of that feel of that 70s vibe, but those organic vegetation, the sunflower, the strawberry, and the violet. Those are all native plants of Lancaster County. So
cool.
for us, it was sort of like that. You get that sense of like it's farmland, but then it's also like this is something special here. This is what we have from early on. So we really wanted to capture people's attention, but also, tip our hat off to Lancaster County in a very, nice, subtle way. And so I like to share that with people that that's really for Lancaster County without saying Lancaster County across the side.
Right, right. No, it's really neat. I was kind of chuckling to myself as you're talking about a mural and how Lancaster County has a lot of murals. We in our business here have been doing a lot of updating. We have a major competitor opening up down the street, and we're ready for the competition that's going to come, and that's fine. But part of that journey was we wanted to put another wall facing signage up, and we went to our landlord. And I don't know that we said the word mural, but he heard the word mural, and then he said the word mural. And I just had to say, well, wait a minute, this is a sign. Because he loves murals.
Yeah.
And he likes incorporating it into his buildings and structures and whatnot. And I'm like, well, that's cool. And it's paint and it's a wall. So I guess by that definition, it's a mural. But it is definitely going to say Gardener's Mattress on it. I mean, if you want to call it art, cool. But I'm going to call it a sign. So I just kind of had to chuckle. But your mural is so much nicer than our mural.
Oh, it's when you go up Oregon Pike, you have to see it. You cannot miss that big blue and yellow artwork. It's beautiful. It really is.
Thanks. Yeah, Jordan did a wonderful
smart
job. And the thing about connecting with, so my whole thing and part of our business concept was in doing this, we've only been open a year. And yes, we have to earn money and we want to grow. We have a long-term 5-year and 10-year plan. But ultimately, each store location, the goal is, because we all know, probably very well, how hard retail is. You're in front of customers, you're on your feet. We're in the food industry, so you're engaging in another level that way. There's a lot of high expectation because you are competing. It doesn't matter if you're a small homegrown business, you're still competing against the Starbucks, the McDonald's, businesses that have been around decades, that know how to do everything, that have everything in a very methodical, well-planned. They've just been at it a long time. So those are still our competition points, even though we're like, hey, you put your hand up and go, hey, we're just, mom and pop, mom and daughter. We're just starting out. So in doing that, I really wanted to look at our business model and say, if we are fortunate enough to grow, and we hope we do, and we eventually have more than one location, each store should be able to take care of a store manager. And if that manager happens to be a single parent, maybe has 2 kids, how can we give them a good quality of life? They don't get burned out, that they're not doing a side hustle of a second job or a third job, trying to keep their livelihood, their family, car payments, rent, utilities going. So that's where the beginning part of our business started. And as we look at a location for growth and what we want to do down the road, how do we continue to support our staff in a way that they go, I like coming to work every day. I want to be here every day. I want to make sure that the customers are happy and that our staff is happy. So there's a lot of thought that went into it. So the mural is one piece of it. Our staff is another piece. And then that third piece, getting back to Jordan, and the mural, is we're really connecting with young local talent. So you find people who are early in their careers that we can sort of partner, because they'll have a vision of what's cool and interesting. I want to support them. It's sort of like linking arms, but they're going to help keep me current, because I'm not their age. I'm older than they are, but I also want to be relevant, 5, 10, 15 years down the road. So there's a lot of thought that went into Nikki's Custard and how we want to connect with the community.
That's awesome. Because I'm glad you brought up about the staff. I've often, my daughter will probably roll her eyes at this if she watches, but she's 15, and I keep telling her, you've got to go to Nikki. You got to apply to get a job there, because she had some friends that work there, and you pay an extremely fair, if not even better than fair, wage for these teenage girls. I know a number of them, my daughter's friends, who are employed by you, and they've had fantastic work experience, and they make a really great wage for a 15 or 16-year-old girl.
Yeah, absolutely. And we did that on purpose. In the beginning, people were surprised. They're like, well, you're cashless. Well, there's a lot of reasons why we went cashless. We wanted to have a very safe work environment. And people are like, why do you want a safe work environment by being cashless? Well, back it was like November of 22, there was an article that came out of it was in the Lancaster paper, I believe is where I read it, but it was about shops this size that were getting robbed, actually, the coffee shops, that kind of thing. And there were groups coming out of larger cities that were like targeting smaller businesses. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to traumatize my high school kids, number one.
Yeah. Yep.
Number two, I want to make sure they get out at consistently the same time. When you have cash in your business and you have to count a register, you may close at 9 o'clock. If there's a mistake, somebody's leaving at 10:30. What they still have to study. They still have activities they're doing. Parents are still picking them up. So for the most part, if we close at 9, they're getting picked up sometime between 9:20 and 9:40. So there's a consistency there. And then the third thing is, we didn't want to, after a little bit of like family connections and friend research, we don't want to accept tips. We want we want to take care of our people. We don't expect the customer to take care of them. And in that way, if we're doing our job right and they like work, they'll stay with us. And then the tip is for the customer, just come back, tell your friends about us, like share about who we are. And at first people are like, what? You don't tip? And now people are so used to it. I think it's something that they appreciate. So we pay our kids well, and we also don't have high turnover. So I keep a file of the kids who reach out, and I just promise people, I'm like, when I'm ready to hire again, I will email all of the kids that sent me emails, but our staff has stayed consistent for a year. And I think that in this industry, that's a big deal.
I've heard you've had a waiting list.
It's tremendous.
We do. Yeah. Yeah. So your daughter, she can send me an email and just say, even if she's like, my dad told me to do it, but she may want a first-time job. And we hire 14, 15, and 16-year-olds. And they need to start somewhere, and they need to learn how to wash dishes and keep things clean and scoop and deal with food and all those things that we actually train kids on. And they do a wonderful job. We have a fantastic staff. I'm so proud of them. So we are definitely the location for first-time jobs.
So a few things I heard from you about the cashless thing.
Yeah.
I can speak. I think it was the winter of '98. Maybe winter of '97, my girlfriend at the time got held up at gunpoint at the Turkey Hill in Brownstown.
Oh, yeah.
And so I know that was rough at the time for her.
Yeah, that's a traumatic experience.
Jennifer. So,
well, my daughter had to go in, and there was a registration thing. She went into the township police to just sort of like, here's my document. They were talking about some things. And when there was a board up on the wall, and they showed a local business. I don't want to say the business, but they're downtown. They were a food business, and somebody had robbed them. And that just happened about a month ago. And they were saying, do you see this person? They had photos of the person off the camera, but you're like, okay, this happens. And I just can't imagine, like, you're in high school. This is going to be the rest of your life, that trauma. So that's why we do it. It's all about safety. And if I get customers that come in that are like, we don't have cash, I'm like, here's a free sweet treat on you. Like, enjoy yourself. Don't stress about this. This is just custard. This is about happiness and goodness and life, and you should enjoy yourself. So it's okay. You'll come back again. And if you don't, you don't. I'm okay with that. Pay it forward.
On the tipping thing, very interesting that you would bring that up.
We were just talking about it.
Yeah. So I go to pick up my lunch
at an unnamed place.
Well, unnamed place.
Yeah.
And the total was $12.97, and I had $13 in cash. Now, I went there, I got in my car, I drove there, I walked in, I made the phone call order, all that stuff. And I had $13, and the person taking the money. He says, tip.
Oh,
And I mean, so first of all, no, but especially no tip.
yeah.
You're just
Sorry.
picking up food.
I
Yeah.
walked into this establishment and got my food.
Yeah.
And then, we are repeat users of this place, and they changed the one ingredient, and it's not great at all. So now not only no tip, but now probably no more business.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately. And I love how you say we don't make the customer take care of our employee. We do. And I think our listeners and watchers and then watchingers, that's a phrase around here, Nicole.
Watchers.
You have laid out a lot of intentionality in the way you run your business, and it shows. You have people who've been with you a year, and you've celebrated a 1-year anniversary. And so while you don't have the purchasing power of a large company or a corporate company or a franchise company, what you do have is a heck of a lot of savings in retraining 27 people in the year's time for the same position that one or two have maybe held.
Well,
Is
and
that a fair statement?
That is completely fair. And my husband and I talk about, we'll run numbers, and we're like, it's worth it because it takes 3 months to train our staff. It looks like an easy job. It takes 3 months. And
that was a lot of quality goodness that we.
Good. Well, and it's everything from the way they scoop, so that the way they speak with the customer. We have a generation of young people who have had social media in the palm of their hand from a very young age. And they are capable, they are smart, they are willing to try new things. They just have to be given the opportunity, but also training them on simple things like we get phone calls into the shop. They have to pick it up and actually talk on the phone. And that takes time. And I'm happy to do it. I remember, I don't know if you guys remember growing up and your parents were like, pick up the phone, answer it appropriately, say these words. So we do these little things that we hope down the road when they go to apply for a college, junior college, a trade school, when they're getting an interview, when they have to talk to their teachers and say, can you help and support me? When they have to go to their next job, when they have to do bigger things, this beginning part will be a nice foundation that they can grow on. So we take it very seriously.
I vote. I'm going to nominate you right now. Nikki's Life Skills Shop.
Okay.
For teenagers and maybe some adults.
I've always had very pleasant interactions at Nikki's, and that's sometimes a challenge with hiring teenage help. Some organizations you go into, and I think Chick-fil-A was one of the businesses that kind of changed the culture of
they absolutely
how teenagers
did.
interact with older folks, and you're very much doing the same thing.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. We have kids, so our brains aren't fully formed, from what I understand, until we're like 26, right? So when you hire a 14, 15-year-old, and we're saying at 26, we could say older, 27, 28, and finally we have there's like 10 years of growth. On any given day, I can have a student who came in and they spent all summer working with us. This literally just happened. They went back to school in August. They were playing a sport. This person came in to open the shop on the weekend. Now, mind you, she did it every other day over the summer. She came in and it was like she'd forgotten everything.
Right.
She was tired. She hadn't eaten well because she had a late night. There was a sporting event. She had to study. She came in and she looked at me and I said, it's okay. Let's start again. And that's why we have procedures and we have lists and we go through it. And I said, ask me the question and we'll go through it one step at a time. And she had a very emotional moment. And I said, it's okay. You're growing, you're learning. I am not mad about any of this. One, I'm a mom. We both know if you have kids, we know what that's like. But two, we've all been there. I remember being at home. I must have been 16. And my mom's like, I had to do, all of us kids had to do the dishes afterwards. And she's like, scrub down the wall of the sink and wipe behind the sink. And she would get irritated. You're not doing this, you're not doing this. And I think I turned 17 and one day, literally a light bulb clicked off and I go, oh, now I know what she means. And I remember thinking like, why in the world can I not get this? Like before she would always be upset. And then all of a sudden I saw it. And I really think it's brain development. There's a maturity that happens and it's the small little things. And It just takes time. So these kids are amazing. And I will tell anybody who has not worked with the younger generation, who says things like, these kids, they don't know, and they're the next generation, we're going to crumble. I'm like, no, you are not. We have kids. I have kids who do sporting activities, go to school. They are doing still their volunteer work. Some of these kids have 2 jobs. I mean, they're in high school and they're working 2 jobs to pay for their car payments, pay for their insurance. These are good kids, and they come from a variety of backgrounds. Some are coming from 2 parents, some are coming from divorced parents, some are coming from living with aunts and uncles. It doesn't matter. These are amazing kids. So we are going to be okay. Next generation is going to take good care of us.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Well, and thank you for, showing them the way in areas where they haven't had experience with what you do. It obviously it comes through in the custard, because it was incredible.
Oh, good.
I think the pumpkin peanut butter chip was the bomb.
Well, see that I want to get into that. That's what I want to know.
Flavors. Yep.
I want to know how you come up with these daily creations. So you have to have a creative mind for that. And I want to know, like, what's maybe the best flavor you ever put together, and what was one that just didn't work? Because I'm guessing there's got to be one that, like, you thought, like, oh, this is going to work, and you put it together and it was like
it. Okay, so the thing, if you ever come to the shop and it's a downtime, you can come into my office. I literally have a 1-year calendar on our wall. Okay. We probably have 50 well-tested recipes from this year. So when we first started, we tried flavors that we thought, oh, that is a good one. That fudge, oh my gosh, I love it. We tried flavors because we tried what our family liked. I always get feedback from customers. I keep a spreadsheet. We have an Excel spreadsheet where I literally like customer recommendations. We started out with some basics. We tried enhancements. We have to balance it with price. We've learned after a year that we can't, over enhance, I'll say, like, too many toppings, because it can be like actually making the custard is too expensive. So we have to find that right balance of, like, how much you put into the product in terms of, like, layering goodies and toppings and the flavor of the custard. So we start with a really high quality base. Our bases are unflavored. We get them from a regional dairy. And that's a good thing. We buy from a dairy that specializes in custard bases. The reason we do that, Pennsylvania is a highly regulated state. That is safe for the customer, which is good. And if there was ever an issue, we can track it. So when the health inspector comes in, literally she's looking at the case, the lot, what dairy we're using, and she takes notes on all of that. Our bases are unflavored, and that's where we get to make them special. And it took us some time. I work with our flavor profiles, I will say, are parallel and connect with sort of like high-end pastry chef flavor profiles. So there are places where you can get ingredients that just are the difference between that artificial flavor to the pure flavor that we all know and love. And so we go that route. Some flavors, you ask, like, what flavors didn't work, because we are very much adult comfort food. That I will tell people, like, this is all about us. Little kids are going to have fun. We have free sprinkles, rainbow sprinkles. We have Swedish fish. We have all of that. But this really is about us as adults. Like, when you want to go home, watch an Eagles game, you're on your laptop and you want a pint sitting next there, what flavor are you going to go through as you eat that whole pint during the Eagles game? I mean, that really is about,
it depends
like,
on the
our
game
comfort.
and if it's a pint.
Yeah, that's right. It could be a half
If it was
gallon.
the 2 losses game, it's a gallon.
There you go. Well, we sell half gallons. I hope you're only buying pints and you're winning all the time. So when we come up with flavors, we try to think creatively. We try to go, like, what would be a nice balance. So one of our biggest hits that we just tried one day is a blueberry, our lemon blueberry cobbler. Yes. So, and this is actually a vanilla base where we take lemon curd and blueberry sauce, and we have a lemon cookie crumb. Our customers go berserk over it. Like we actually had a couple who got married over the summer and asked if that could be, so they did like a cake, but they wanted that to be connected to their dessert.
Is that it?
table. No, that just happens to be our berry sauces. So
okay.
That's another really cool thing that I'll touch base on. But all those fruit sauces, I connect with another woman-owned business, so the Christina Mazer Company, and we worked with their chef to have our fruit sauces made specially for us. So they are fresh fruit or frozen fresh, organic sugar and lemon juice. And those sauces that we keep on the line are just, they do a fantastic job.
That's one of the best things about going there. You get the custard in the cup, and then they dig a little hole in the middle.
Yep, a flavor
bomb. They ask
bomb.
you what flavor, peanut butter sauce or, the fruit, and they squirt it into the hole there and then put the toppings on. It's amazing.
Yes.
Awesome.
So I always wanted sauce in the center. Like I'd be frustrated, like if the fudge and the chocolate like would go off on the sides, and you're just like, dang it. So I had my husband make this tool for us, and he happens to work at a manufacturing plant where the guys on the line are like, yeah, we can do that for you. So he designed it, and we had 5 of these tools made, and we core down the center, and you have sauce on the inside and sauce on the outside. And so with every bite you have it. So yeah, that's so when I say that, like in February, I was dreaming of custard, I was really dreaming of custard, all of these goodies. So it's been really good. In terms of the other flavors, so the lemon blueberry cobbler was amazing. The flavor that didn't hit the mark. Now, our high school kids absolutely loved it, but it was a blue cotton candy custard with sprinkles, and it just didn't work for our customer profile. I
wouldn't order it.
Yeah,
but yeah,
the high school kids,
would.
The little kids, everybody was ordering it. We had way too much of that left over.
I'm glad you didn't say like turkey and gravy and mashed potatoes or something. Like you're not going that crazy with the flavors,
do
right?
a co-partnership with Wawa's Gobbler series.
No, I think we'll go well with the pumpkin pie and the cherry pie on the side, but I'm not ready for that. Now I am going to try at some point. I haven't done it yet, but I have a customer who wants us to do an ube, which is a purple yam. I need to figure out how to do it, because everybody who's told me that they've had like ube in a dessert way, whether it's like pies or cakes, has said it's amazing. So I don't know if we can do that with a custard.
Never heard of that.
So that's on one of the lists.
You could do it.
Okay. Well, I'll let everybody know. We'll do a big purple scoop when we do that flavor.
We'll have you back on the show when you release that flavor.
There you go.
I don't know.
You're not doing ube?
I was about to ask about gummy bears in the custard, and all of a sudden we're on vegetables in the custard.
So sorry.
Like what's next? Kale?
No.
No.
We have coconut flakes.
I'm out. If we're gonna keep talking about vegetables in the custard, this can be your show, and I'll just go do my thing. No.
What I will say is we have rotating flavors. So sometimes we had sour gummy worms. We sold out of those. Yeah. We'll rotate those in. We have the little mini gummy bears. Right now we have Swedish fish. What do we have? Waffle crisps. We have Oreo crumb, little mini chocolate chips. We rotate between the Hershey ones, and why am I drawing a blank? Oh my gosh. The Lidditz chocolate, which is the Lidditz chocolate.
Wilbur Buds.
Wilbur. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I couldn't remember Wilbur Buds, but we do like the little mini Wilbur chocolate chips. Those are amazing. Oh my gosh. Yep. There it is. There's that custard. We have really fun flavors, and we have a lot of different interesting nuts on we do like walnuts and pistachios and things like that on the line. We have 2 chocolate sauces, a peanut butter. We do a spicy hot honey. We rotate monthly between marshmallow, Nutella, and fudge based on the milkshake of the month. There's our pistachio. That was a yummy flavor. That's a nice fan favorite. So yeah, we have a lot of goodies. That's s'mores. You can't beat s'mores. It is so good.
I like when there's like chunks and bites in the custard.
So you do a Blizzard-like creation. I think you call it rock hard.
Rock solid. It's a rock solid.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, you put the stuff in and then you mix it all up.
Yep. So we have two cats that we are pandemic cats, and one is Freddie, as in Freddie Mercury. She's a queen. And then the other one is David Bowie, Bowie as in David Bowie. He's a rock star.
Cool.
So the pandemic cats were the name of our LLC, Queen and the Rock Star. And then out of that, we created the Rock Solids. So we wanted to, we can't obviously take other stores' names, and we wanted to create our own. So yeah, those are like the Concretes or the Blizzard, the milkshake without the milk.
Yep.
And I don't know if this pup cup would be okay for you, Jeff. Your dogs, this might be too small, but we do like a 2.5 ounce scoop.
Our dogs, like, so Rita's.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
We go to Rita's, and they know.
They know.
Getting out of the car and
oh no, they know. Like, you bring the container in, the container, they equate with Rita's. It doesn't matter what's sticking out the top of it. They're like, "Where's my pup cup?"
Yep.
That's awesome.
You know, Gizmo does the pitter patter of the paws, like, "Okay, I'm ready for it." And Zeus politely and obediently, as he's been trained, goes in his crate. But Gizmo's just dumb and he just wants food. But yeah, they love the pup cups. They would eat it and then want more, but they would eat it.
Well, we have some families when we have a nice, like, tiny size pup cup, and we have a dog bowl outside. We have benches, we have our umbrellas, so you can bring your dogs outside. But I have a friend who has a really big dog, and she had to buy a single for him because it just was not enough. So,
well, and I saw, so you have numerous things. So we had pints. So it's not that you just have to get pints. You can get 1 scoop, 2 scoops. You can get pup cups for your 4-legged friends.
The Rock Solids, milkshakes.
Rock Solids, the milkshakes. But I saw your pint prices, correct me if I'm wrong, $6.99 presently?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, that's, listen, you can tell I'm somewhat of an ice cream connoisseur. and for the big corporate stuff, that's the same price.
Yeah.
And this was so much better.
Well, thank you. We did market research to really try to hit right where other custard shops across the country, locally. I mean, we get some people are like, "You're too expensive." We are not a place where you can get a $1 cone. So there are beautiful places, and they do a wonderful job. But for us, we really are doing high-end ingredients, high-end flavor profiles. When I talk about that flavor, we actually had flavorings early on when we first opened that we would do tests in the back, and it gave such an artificial flavor that we had to throw it away. We were like, we can't serve this to our customers. So we've gone through a lot to get to where we are today. The other thing, like right here, we offer 4 non-dairy and gluten-free options. So we have a soft serve machine. Excuse me, I'm going to have to take some water. That just does oat milk. And then we have another soft serve machine that only does water base. So half of our family's vegan, and they really wanted, they said, like, "You're going to do this custard shop. You've got to do something for us, Mom." And I said, I will. So that's why we offer those non-dairy vegan options and gluten-free options, just because it makes a difference for people. And we don't do sugar-free, but we do offer those other options.
I was just informed that the custard we had was gluten-free.
Depending on, it will be gluten-free. Yes, exactly.
But that's what you got.
Yeah.
And I still rave about it.
Oh, well,
like, give me all the gluten.
A lot of things are gluten-free.
You like carbs.
But the gluten's what makes it good.
Well, like if you're talking about like cookie dough or like Oreo cookies, I couldn't have that in there. I'm typically gluten-free, so.
Well, and we ask people when they come to our shop. So part of our shop, our spiel that the kids will give is we let people know right away that we're cashless. We explain that. Yep. And then we ask people, do you have any food allergies? And we really do try to accommodate when we can. I mean, sometimes there's a rare occasion when we can't, but if we go in the back and get a new scooper, if we can scoop out of a fresh bucket for somebody, if we can, I one time did soft serve and I literally put new gloves on. We did the soft serve. I walked it around the counter and handed it to this person and they walked outside. You know, whatever we can do so that people just feel better. And we know what it's like. You know, we've had kids with allergies when they can't get something to eat and they're sad and disappointed. So we tried our best, but I'm glad that you could have the custard without any gluten in it.
That's cool. Hey, I mean, I can't believe we're like 5 minutes
to the
till
top
3.
of the hour.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
I'm just going to make it known. This is my heart's breaking doing this show
Oh,
because
no.
10 minutes before getting this show started, I get a text from my pharmacy that my semaglutide medicine is in. I have to do something about my weight. And if it's not that I want to be heavy, it's just my makeup. And so I'm getting medicine. But this is a hard show because I have to. But maybe what I can do is stop by Nikki's on the way and
No,
get
no,
my
no.
gluten-y
Here's-
custard and
Jeff, here's the thing.
then get the medicine.
Don't do that. Stay healthy. It's in moderation. And we have kids.
Moderation is the key.
Yes.
Moderation is the key.
Yeah.
I have some of my kids. I mean, as a family, I will say I taste it every day, but I don't eat like a full cup anymore. Like I can't do it either. My sugars would go through the roof, but it is just it's a bit of a joy. So, little bits at a time. Come visit us. Come check it out with your dogs, but please stay healthy.
I will. I like to poke fun at myself. If you haven't,
No.
our people know that. So, but no, that was fantastic. I mean, just fantastic. So
Good,
I guess we're going to look to wrap up.
Yeah.
Boy, what a great fun show with Nikki's Custard has made herself, the whole team, a part of Lancaster. Really gets that word team if you didn't get it from being on the show. And so thank you for being an awesome part of Lancaster County and building a business that, congrats on 1 year. From your research, that first year is the roughest year. Mm-hmm. And so I think you're built for speed and longevity here in the county. And hopefully our people that watch this will go support you. And
thank you.
It's amazing. It's amazing without the gluten. It's probably going to be even more amazing with it. Just saying.
Yeah,
lots of great stuff.
I am a cold sweet treat fan, and this is my number one in the county.
Thank you. Thank
Lots
you.
of fun.
We are very fortunate to live in this county. There's so much good going on, whether it's food related, volunteer, community donations, you name it. We have a lot of good stuff going on. So we're very fortunate. So thanks, guys.
Yeah. We have a few minutes left. We'll get in Connection Cocktail quick because we have a few burning questions that we didn't ask.
I mean, I feel we've gotten to know Nicole pretty well in the last hour, but we've got a few other fun questions. Maybe not quite Nikki's Custard related, but I do want to know, though, what your favorite custard flavor is.
Okay. I can't. Oh, that's a tough one. I'll say this quickly. When we were in the Midwest, when we used to have to call the mom and pops up on a phone and say, what's your flavor of the day? And they would tell us, I liked vanilla with the little mini chocolate chips. We start our own business and we come out here, and I like it. It's hard because there's certain flavors. Like I love strawberry. I don't know what it is. Our strawberry, any strawberry. I love strawberry. I love our raspberry chip. We're actually having that this week. It's a beautiful raspberry custard with these little mini chocolate chips. But when I have to what assemble things, what?
What day?
Oh, I have to look at the calendar. It's coming on Saturday. But my go-to is like, if I can just have a nice scoop of the vanilla and I do some almonds on there with our sour cherry sauce and some Malden salt, I could eat that all day. So scoop of vanilla, do the sour cherry, do the almonds, and do the Malden salt, and I'm done.
Done. That's what the kids say. I'm done.
I'm deleting that text. I'm deleting the text from the pharmacy, and I'm coming right over.
Saturday, it's a date.
All right. If you could travel back in time, where would you land?
I would. I love architecture. And my husband and I live down in the city. And every time we walk around downtown, I look at these buildings. Now, I don't want to live during the late 1800s. I think as a woman, it was probably pretty challenging. But if I could be a butterfly on the wall, I would love to see how these homes were built. Like the artisans where they're laying the brick and they're doing the wood and they're doing all the curved moldings and all that gorgeous, just beautiful construction. I would love to see that being made. So just for the architecture, late 1800s, not wanting to live there.
I like that. All right. Keeping it Lancaster County themed.
Yeah.
What's one of your favorite things to do in Lancaster County?
So we have a 11-year-old golden doodle. Her name's Hadley. And when I can take her to the southern part of the county and hit the parks and just let her go to the off-leash park down by the creek, that just is a beautiful day. Sunny, gorgeous. She's happy. We're happy. We're walking around in those fields. I love that part of Lancaster County.
That's awesome. We've had some beautiful fall weather to do that.
Yep. Very fortunate. I've always said that when the settlers have settled in this part of the country, I see why they stopped. Like, it is beautiful. The hills, the green, the pasture land, eventual pasture lands, the trees, the rivers, the creeks. It's gorgeous. It's just
really
beautiful.
is.
So we're really fortunate.
Cool.
Nicole, this has been a lot of fun.
Thanks.
I'm really going to decide if I need to just not go to the pharmacy. But no, all jokes aside, moderation. I hear you. For
Come
everybody
visit us
else,
with your dogs.
yeah, right. I mean, listen, like anything in life, moderation is always a good idea. But if you need to indulge, Nikki's Custard would be the place to do it.
Absolutely,
for sure.
the place to do it.
But indulge in moderation.
Yep, that's right.
Yes.
Amazing flavors. We had the pumpkin peanut butter chip,
peanut butter cup,
and then peanut butter and jelly.
Peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, so
That's
just
a good one.
Just incredible ones.
The funny thing about that is I brought it home and my daughter was like, 15-year-old daughter was like, no, not peanut butter and jelly and ice cream. I'm like, it's got to be good, and I'm proof it's very good.
Just
It's
have
good.
your cotton candy.
But yeah, that's
with
right.
sprinkles.
It's like,
child.
at what point does the palate flip from cotton candy to?
Well, I flipped to my dad's palate. Like,
It's the same. It's
he's
the same time you
82 and
remember
vanilla is vanilla. I love it.
Yep.
Yep. You flip the palette when you remember to do the sync properly, or you remember to turn off light switches. That's
right.
when it happens. Watch out, teenagers.
Yes.
When you start listening to mom and dad, that's when cotton candy with Jimmy's goes away, and you have sweet potato ice cream in your life.
And kale ice cream. Woohoo!
Yeah,
That's right.
Nicole, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for being on.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Very nice spending time with you. I appreciate it.
Yep.
You're welcome.
Have a good afternoon.
You too.
All right. I think we're just going to wrap up there. We're at the top of the hour. A lot of fun in that show. We can always talk about sleep. We can always talk about mattresses on this show. But I think we're just going to end there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel we should end by getting out some more ice cream from the
You think
just
so?
the half pints that are still in there.
Yeah, we still have them. So we'll eat them. Trust me, they won't go to waste.
That's very true. Yep.
We'll promise you that here on Lancaster Connects. That would be anti-Lancaster.
Yeah. You got it.
Waste.
You cannot.
You
waste
can't
that.
waste Lancaster's contributions of dairy and agriculture.
That's right.
Her team's labor. That would be terrible to throw away.
Yep. It will not go to waste.
Yeah, we'll be okay. All right, that was a lot of fun. Great show.
Yep.
Thanks for picking up the custard.
Oh yeah.
And making the choices.
I missed a chance to go to Nikki's. Come on.
You slipped one by me with the gluten thing. Now I know what gluten-free is like, and it's pretty darn good.
It's
from Nikki's Custards. Yeah. All right. We'll see everybody next week on Lancaster Connects. Till the next time. See you next week.